Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamadhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakrutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we saw yesterday in the last class 3 beautiful mantras. What is that? Shreyascha preyascha manushyametaha tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha shreyohi dhirohi preyaso vrunite preyo mando yogakshemad vrunite. In this mantra we noticed was, it is said that Shreyaha and Preyaha appear to us, come to us mingled. Therefore, a Dhira Purusha alone will be able to discriminate between this Preya and Shreya. They are not separately hanging before us, but they get mingled and presented to us. So we need a subtle intellect to be aware, to know what is happening, a moment to moment, what is pleasant, what is good, and courage and capacity and conviction, inner strength to follow the path of good, leaving the path of prayer. This is a great step. In the next mantra, in answer to Anyatra Dharmat, Yamaraj says that Sarve Vedaha Yat Padamamananti Tapamsa Sarvanacha Yad Vadanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyan Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Iti Etat. So that state, Sarve Vedaha Yat Padam Amananti, all that state which is proclaimed by all the Vedas, that state, that is what? Tapamsa Sarvanacha Yad Vadanti, all penances proclaim that particular state alone. Tapasyas should lead to that state alone. So they proclaim that state. Yadichanto Brahmacharyan Charanti, desiring that state, all the great seekers all over the world observe the Brahmacharya, path of celibacy, meaning what? Gurukula Vasaha Lakshanam Anyadva Brahma Praptyartham Charanti. Whatever you do in order to attain Brahman, that is a great, the whole life is dedicated to attainment of that Brahman. Once we attain, the journey, evolution comes to an end. In a sense, further evolution is different. We are not talking about that. But once we realize the self, the human objective is achieved. Okay? So, tatte padam sangrahena. What is that state? Bravimi sangrahena. In brief, I will explain that state. That state is called as what? Om. Om iti etat. That we have said yesterday. Om indicates both Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. It is a means to attain Saguna Brahma, Brahman with attributes, and Nirguna Brahma. Beautiful point. Acharya Shankara mentioned, if it is manifested, it has to be reached. If it is unmanifested, it is to be known. It's a beautiful point which is to be remembered. Now, Again, in the next mantra, we have seen Kathopanishad only, in the first 1.2.24, Navirito duscharitat na ashanto na asamahitah na ashantamanaso va api prajnanena enam apnuyat. These, one whose mind is not turned away from bad conduct, one whose senses are not controlled, and one who is not concentrated, one who is not peaceful or pacified, such a person will not be able to know the truth. Then who will know the truth? Prajnanena. How it is to be known? Prajnanena enam apnuyat. Through prajnanam alone. So, prajnanena brahma vijnanena enam prakrutam atmanam apnuyat. So, the brahma vijnanam is necessary. That we have seen 3 mantras yesterday. Now, today we will see subsequent mantras. Now, Shaunakji asked Angirasa in the question, we saw Kasmin Bhagavo Vijnate Sarvamidam Vijnatam Bhavati iti. Is it not? See the mantra, previous mantras it is mentioned. The question was mentioned under the questions. Under the questions, Shaunako Havai Mahashalaha Angirasam Vidhivat Upasanna Papracha Kasmin Bhagavo Vijnate Sarvamidam Vijnatam Bhavati iti. Now, for that answer is given. So that is the third mantra. Number 3 in that sequence, first Mundaka, first chapter, third mantra. Now first Mundaka, first chapter, fourth mantra is the answer given by Angira Rishi to Shaunakji. Tasmai to him. Third and fourth and fifth mantras are the answer given by him. Let us see now. Tasmai sahovacha Dve vidye veditavye iti hasma Yad brahma vido vadanti Parachaiva paracha Tasmai sahovacha Dve vidye veditavye iti hasma Yad brahma vido vadanti Paracha aparacha. Now Angirasa started answering. Answer to the question asked by Shaunakji. What is that? What is that having known which everything else become known? First of all, for a Vidyarthi to get an idea that there is the herd. Shankaracharya Mahashima says, Shishta Pravadaha. He heard through Shishta, through wise people in the society, that there is some knowledge, something, having known which everything else become known. Why to go after different knowledges, one after one, one after one, one after one? But there is some kind of a knowledge. If you know that, if you pursue that, if you realize that, everything else become known. That means there is a possibility. Gurudev says that even in some question lectures, even that possibility is laughed at by intellectuals, dry intellectuals. How can there be some knowledge? Physics is different from chemistry, chemistry different from botany, botany different from zoology, zoology different from astrophysics. Everything, geography, geology, oceanology, music, dance, literature, arts. So many things are there in this world. The knowledge is different. How can you say that having known which everything else become known? The possibility itself is laughed at by many people. But here the Rishi says, the Upanishad says, there is such a beautiful Vidya. Once for all, and that is to be Veditavye. What is that? Says that there are two kinds of knowledge. What is to be Veditavye? To be acquired. Iti hasma, usually. It is said, usually say, there are two types of knowledge, O Shaunaka, which is to be acquired. What is that? Yad Brahmavido vadanti. Who says that? The knowers of Brahman. They proclaim. They say that there are two kinds of knowledges. I don't know plural is there or not, but doesn't matter. Two kinds of knowledges. What is that? Paracha eva aparacha. There is two. One is Paravidya, other is Aparavidya. Paravidya means higher, Aparavidya is lower. Now Paracha, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Paracha Paramatma Vidya. Paramatma Vidya is Paravidya. Aparavidya is what? Aparacha Dharma Adharma Sadhana Tatpala Vishaya. Aparavidya is Dharma, Adharma, then how to do Dharma, the sadhana, means to do dharmic activities, and then Adharma, how to avoid and struggle. Sometimes we follow Adharma because Adharma sometimes looks to be very prey for us, prayer, not Shreya. Knowingly very well the prayer we run after, and the results are plenty, opposite results. Then we suffer, we have to suffer all the results. And all this Vidya, Vidya is what? Which Shastra you do, which Karma Kanda you do, which Dharma you Anushtana you do, what kind of Palam you get. By doing Nishiddha activities, what kind of activity leads to what kind of sin, and what kind of Phala you will get it. All this knowledge is called Apara Vidya. One is Paravidya, second is Aparavidya. Higher knowledge and lower knowledge. Now, therefore, here Shankara says, here one important question he asked. Purapakshi, opponent. He raised a question there, Shankaracharya. Sir, Shaunakji asked, Kasmin Bhagavo Vijñate Sarvamidam Vijñatam Bhavati iti. But answer is not properly given by the Rishi. Rishi says there are two types of knowledge. Is it the answer? See, you are also intelligent. That is not the answer, no? Kasminnu bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavati. So answer should have been given straight away. This is the knowledge, having known which you will know everything. There are two types of knowledges. Shankaracharya says, no fault in this. There is na yesha doshaha. There is no dosha in this. Why? Krama apekshitvat prativachanasya. Reply has to be always in a proper order, in a sequence. Certain times when question is asked, you have to lead the questioner towards understanding in stages. Therefore, krama apekshitvat prativachanasya aparahi vidya avidya sa nirakartavya. First of all, having said these two types of knowledges, aparavidya is what? Aparahi vidya avidya. What is aparavidya? Avidya. Why we are running after dharma, adharma? Why Nachiketa asked this question? I don't want dharma and adharma, because these adharma and dharma, all these things are in the realms of matter or avidya, ignorance. Ignorant person only desires all those things. Ignorant person avidya only, due to avidya, kama and karma. It is called hridaya granthi. What is the bondage of the heart? Sequence is avidya, kama and karma. Ignorance, because of ignorance, multiple desires, and because of desires, we act to fulfill those desires, and the karma will again propel into another desire, and improvisation of the desires, and desires create vasanas, vasanas create desires, and desire creates action, action create vasanas, vasana create desires, desire creates action. This is called chakkar mein fas gaye hum sab. Think. How I tell you, how we desire. Suppose in this life, you are not able to sit on Padmasana, and you have seen Ramdev Baba sitting on Padmasana in television or in a program, and he is able to do all the beautiful Hatha Yoga asanas and all that. You have a desire. I am unable to sit. Then Guru tells, meditate. You reply, I can't sit on Padmasana, therefore I can't meditate. Now, meditation is possible anyway, it doesn't matter. But you have created a desire, unless I sit in Padmasana, I cannot know the truth. That unnecessary thought had gone into your head. It created a vasana. So next life you take birth only to practice Padmasana. In this life, suppose you have only daughters, and they got married and settled away. In old age, you don't have anybody to look after. Then you say, एक बेटा होता ना. Lord heard. Lord's ears are very sharp. बेटा चाहिए. Next जन्म तथास्तु. Again you marry to have a son there. And that son will kick you in that life. Again you will desire. ऐसा पुत्र नहीं चाहिए, अच्छा बेटा चाहिए. Then another life. This is how. मेरी हजम शक्ति बहुत कम है, हजम करने की शक्ति कम है इस जन्म में. भगवान दे दिया जाए अगले जन्म में अच्छा पेट, ताकि मैं 10 पराठा हजम कर सकूं. 10 पराठे. This is how, whatever you are not getting, please understand, very important point. Unless we are conscious, we miss the point. Whatever we don't have, side by side we are sowing the seeds for them. In my life, this life, I got a bald head. Chi, chi, chi. Everybody is applying dye. I don't have opportunity to apply dye because of my bald head. So 2 desires are planted. बाल हेड है, चुपचाप बैठ सकते हैं ना? नहीं, साथ साथ 2 डिजायर्स. बाल भी होना चाहिए, सफ़ेद बनना चाहिए, फिर बाद में डाई लगाना है. ये क्या जिंदगी है बताओ. दिस इज कॉल्ड अपराविद्या, ignorance. So avidya cha sa nirakartavya. So avidya, aparavidya, which is avidya, which is to be negated, nirakartavya. So first of all, know what is to be negated. Nirakartavya. Tad vishayehi vidite na kinchit tatvatah viditam syat iti. So beautiful. Tad vishaye vidite iti. If you happen to know, gain the knowledge of aparavidya, apara, knowledge of the lower, if you know, tad vishayehi vidite na kinchit tatvatah viditam syat. In fact, in essence, you would not have known anything. Meaning what? Whatever knowledge you gained in lower degree of knowledge in aparavidya, Bhagavan says, actually you don't know anything. Na kinchit viditam tattvataha, meaning in essence you had not known anything. It's a beautiful thing. See, you understood, no? Tad vishayehi viditaha na kinchit tattvataha viditam syat. Nothing in essence becomes known, remains known. Everything remains unknown only. In essence, we have not done anything. That means what? Whole life, our knowledge, our experience, our arrogance, our complexes, our degrees, our superiority complex, so many things, it's all nothing. Tattvataha, it is all big zero. Therefore, viditam syat nirakritya hi purapaksham paschat siddhanto vaktavyah bhavati iti nyayat. Nyayat, what is that right thing to do? First, purapaksham nirakritya. First, all the opponent arguments to be demolished. Then establish your siddhanta, principle. What is your essence? What is the essence of your teaching? Your siddhanta, you establish. When? Only when you clear all the opponents. Therefore, what is the opponent here? In knowing the paravidya, aparavidya. In knowing the higher, what is to be renounced, rejected, eliminated, abandoned. Enough, no? What is to be done? Aparavidya. As long as our mind is running after aparavidya, we are nowhere nearing the sadhana. Therefore, because of this, the teacher says, his teaching begins with dve vidye. There are 2 kinds of knowledges. One is paravidya, other is aparavidya iti. Now you have to define what is aparavidya, which is to be nirakartavya, which is to be rejected. And what is paravidya, which is to be retained. So I must know everything, then reject and then what is to be accepted. Like you go buffet. There are about 80 items in buffet. Suppose. I always joke, don't mind. My mind works like that funnily sometimes. Why it is called buffet? Because buffaloes only gather around to graze. And they are confused in grazing. They take the plate, बेचारा दौड़ता रहता है इधर से इधर और किसी ने कहता है आपको ये नहीं मिला, ये कहाँ मिला? ओ काउंटर में. Like a panting dogs. बेचारे बहुत बुरे. ऐसे शादियों में कभी कभी ना इधर कोने में कोकोनट स्टॉल, उधर कोने में गुलाब जाम स्टॉल. You have to walk in the मैदान. All sugar will exhaust. So much of struggle for food, Seeker's point of view it is not. And anyway, what do you do normally? Suppose a person takes kali plate, if he is intelligent enough, he will go round and observe what are all there. मेरे लिए खाने लिए कुछ है या नहीं, पहले देखते पूरा. देखने के बाद निराकर्तव्य, rejected. Then you will know, I will take simple दाल रोटी. पंत जी बोल रहे बगल से. So his choice. Whatever your choice is, you take that alone. This is, I am diabetic, I will not go to sweets. I am acidic, I will not go to spicy. I am having gas trouble, I will not go to these things. Then what is bacha hai? Whatever is bacha hai, which suits you, you take and go. Similarly, know what is all coming under avidya, apara avidya. Then reject it. Know what is para avidya, hold on to it. So therefore, now in the next mantra, the teacher says, Tatra apara Rugvedo Yajurvedaha Samavedo Atharvavedaha Shiksha Kalpaha Vyakaranam Niruktam Chando Jyotisham iti Athapara Yada Yaya Tadaksharam Adhigamyate Tatra Apara Rugvedo Yajurvedaha Samavedo Atharvavedaha Shiksha Kalpaha Vyakaranam Niruktam Chando Jyotishamiti Athapara Yayatadaksharam Adhigamyate. Beautiful. Upanishads, Wonderful. What it says? Tatra apara. Now apara vidya I am going to say. Teacher, I asked you, Kasmin bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavati. Why are you explaining all these things? Answer was given by Shankaracharya ji. What is that? First of all, before you establish your principle and reply, in stages reply has to be given, and reject all which is to be rejected. Then what is left is paravidya, teach the vidya, essence. The method is employed by Surushi, same method is employed. What is the method? First he enumerates aparavidya. Aparavidya, lower vidya. Lower vidya is actually, it is not giving you permanent joy, a moksha. It is merely transaction. At that moment, that knowledge may be useful. But unfortunately, we have garva, pride of our aparavidya. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya said, if you know aparavidya, you have known nothing in essence. You replied, no? You have known nothing in essence. Therefore, why should we feel proud of our experiences? Somebody says, I am master of income tax laws, but they keep changing every year. Think. बेचारे हर साल पढ़ना पड़ता है उनको नए rules. Every government comes and declares before a budget changes, this is that, that is changed, this is scrapped, that is included, that is changed. Who will read all that? They have to read. So what is the pride? I know income tax law. Of which year? 2010. बाढ़ में जाओ, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, कोई फायदा नहीं है. देखो. So our knowledge is, aparavidya is of no use except that particular moment may be useful. It is useful, no doubt about it. But in essence, we have known nothing. Therefore, teacher enumerates, tatra apara, what are the Rugvedaha? Rugveda is aparavidya, lower. Yajurveda also. Student is confused. Guruji, Anji, everything is apara, everything is aparavidya. Rugveda is aparavidya, Yajurveda aparavidya, Samaveda is aparavidya, Atharva Veda aparavidya. No culture tells its own textbook is lower. That is the greatness of our Hindu dharma, where we say go beyond Vedas. Nistraigunyo bhavarjuna, traigunya vishaya vedaha, nistraigunyo bhavarjuna. Hey Arjuna, go beyond the three Vedas. Vedas also bind you. What way? Veda means a karma kanda, so karma kanda you take. Karma kanda is what? Karma kanda knowledge you gained. By merely gaining the knowledge of a karma kanda, you are not benefited, is it not? Is it not? Then you must know the process, vidhi, has to, how to do the karma. Ayyo Rama. And after knowing the process of doing the karma, you must perform the karma. And you must also know how to avoid pitfalls while performing the karma. दक्षिणा नहीं दिया ठीक से, पुजारी को रुलाया, पूरा यज्ञ भ्रध्वंस हो गया, क्या फायदा? वहां पे कंजूसी किया है. Many people are like that only. They argue, ब्राह्मण को क्यों देना पैसा? Guruji says, Brahmanas means bhuri bhuri dakshina. Bhuri bhuri dakshina means give Brahmana bhavantu santushtaha. Let them all be happy. Their occupation is that only. When we support such activities in society, then dharma karyas will increase in society. We must encourage also. Anyway, so there, I am talking of relative world. But there, karma kanda mein, you have to know the vidhi, you have to perform the karma, you must know what are the pitfalls in karma and avoid those pitfalls in karma, vidhi mein, without any compromise, and afterwards you will get the result when, after the karma, after some time in this loka or that loka, afterward your death, and that result you will get, and that result is only temporary, and that result after that karma phala goes away, you are back to square one. This much is a process involved in karma kanda. Think. So everything is aparavidya. But in paravidya, what is the beauty of paravidya? Nothing to be known. Aham brahmasmi. Ab main kya karu? Karna kuch nahi. Tattvamasi. You are that. Ab karna kya hai? Kuch nahi. That recognition is important. I understood? Yes. There afterwards, you have to claim. Claim what? I am Brahman. Like Nisargadatta Maharaj, only one satsang he attended in life. Guru told him, Aham Brahmasmi, mantra. And never he attended any, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. He believed it, he accepted it, and he became that. And Guru, हमारे साथ गुरु कहता है तत्वमसि, गुरु जी और कोई बकरा को चुनना जोक बोलने के लिए, मैं कहाँ ब्रह्म हो सकता हूँ? Choose any other scapegoat and tell the truth. All these things. I am such a papi I am. And moreover, all four Vedas come under Aparavidya. Then Shiksha, phonetics, Shiksham Vyakhyāsyāmaha Varnaswaraha Matra. That Taittiriya Upanishad, Shiksha. Shiksha Vidya, phonetics, science of pronunciation. Kalpaha, Kalpa Shastra, code of rituals. Kitna int lagani hai, kaise lagani hai, how to bring everything. So many things are there. Shastras are there. So Kalpa Shastra, Vyakaranam, grammar also, Niruktam, Vedic dictionary, etymology, Chandaha, Chandas, meters, knowledge of the meters of Vedic meters, which Chanda it is. Then also Jyotisham, astrology. In fact, this is called Vedanga. Vedanga. In the, unless you know Vedangas, we will not be able to know or understand Vedas. So Vedangas are the keys to open the Veda. Without these subjects, we will not understand Veda at all. So, all these things come under what? Aparavidya. See? And here, what is Paravidya? Atha para, now Paravidya is being told. Atha para, Guru says, now Paravidya. What is Paravidya? Yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. That by which you attain that imperishable and realize the truth. That knowledge by which we experience what we are one without the second, we are pure consciousness, we are not this body, mind, intellect complex, I am that consciousness, eternal, infinite. What is that knowledge which gives me this experience, anubhav? That knowledge is called Paravidya. So that which is indicated by the Upanishadic mantras, because Acharya Shankara somewhere he mentions that the word Atman also cannot go near to the Atman. The word Brahma also is different. But Brahma is word Brahma indicating some Vastu. What is the nature of the Vastu? Explained in Shastras. So that Vastu is there, that I have to contemplate, who am I, who is that Vastu, what is that Vastu, what is the nature of me, the pure consciousness. So we have to contemplate. So that knowledge which makes me realize what I am. Now when you say I, immediately what I remember? My physical body, my name, my form, think, my position, my relations. We are so much identified with the body. And the first step on the path of spirituality is disassociating ourselves, our consciousness with the physical body, wherein I will be able to see the physical body as an object other than me. That's the first state. Like I am seeing the watch on the table, totally disassociated, detached. Similarly, on the seat of meditation, if I practice, I know that this physical body is only a shell through which I am functioning. I am not this physical body. Then we experience something, I am that also to be rejected. Then something else, then that also be rejected. Ultimately, you find that you are none other than pure consciousness. What is that? We will see later on. Therefore, here, Jaya Tadaksharam Adhigamyate. That which goes beyond the word meaning in all languages. Tadaksharam Adhigamyate. Akshara means, one meaning is, Akshara Brahma is Adhigamyate, reached, or Akshara means language, words. Adhigamyate, you transcend the languages of the mantras and you reach the what is indicated by mantra is realized. Like Rasagulla word is not Rasagulla. Laddu word is not Laddu. Think. Word is different from the actual Laddu when you eat. Similarly means Laddu word Adhigamyate. What is the meaning of Adhigamyate? I have transcended the word Laddu and realized Laddu. Think. As long as I have not eaten Laddu, I am only talking about Laddu, I am confined to the word Laddu, I have not reached that which is indicated by the word Laddu. Think. Similarly, everything is an indicator. उसके लिए क्या चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए? ब्रह्म तत्व को जानने के लिए एक अभ्यास हम सबको करना चाहिए, एकांतवास. एकांत माने नो मोबाइल. फर्स्ट मोबाइल की शादी सबकी हो गई. आई गॉट ए व्हाट्सएप मैसेज 4 days back, 5 days back in Telugu. Somebody sent very beautiful description in a hospital labor room, and then she delivered a baby. The mother was sleepy after delivery, so the baby is of course washed, cleaned, and they kept. And then she became little conscious and she started searching for baby. Baby is missing. Baby is missing. So she was searching, and she is worried. And the nurse came. What are you searching, baby? No, I am searching for my mobile. What nonsense it is. So ekantavasa means what? First renounce your wife called mobile. Then renounce attachment to your husband or wife's spouse mentally. Without her, without children, without nana, pota, etc., can you spend time in solitude? Alone. No past, no future anxiety. Next step. Mind should not run into the past. Mind should not go into future. Just observe. Observe what? Your breath, yourself. Aham Brahmasmi. That's it. And hardly we spend in solitude. We always need company. One day, can you keep quiet without talking to anybody on mobile? One day, ek vrat kar lo. I will not call anybody. If any call comes, I receive. To the point, I answer and cut the phone. क्या कर रहे हो? खाना खा रहे हो. और कुछ बोलना है क्या? नहीं. लगा दो फोन. रखो फोन. Stop making outgoing calls. Unless there is a need or something, just don't call. ऐसे याद आया, ऐसे फोन किया, क्या कर रहे हो? I tell you, when you do this abhyasana, people will stop disturbing you. Slowly the world will not disturb you. अब इससे मैं क्या क्या अदा करूं? यया तद अक्षरम अधिगम्यते. You transcend the word meanings of everything, vachyartha, then go to lakshyartha. It's a golden opportunity. Life is a golden opportunity. Before you drop off these bodies, try to reach one step nearer to the truth. You are that. Okay? This is the answer given by, what is that? Kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati athapara yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. That knowledge by which you transcend all the word meanings, the languages mentioned in the mantras, and you revel in the indicated meaning, realize the truth and establish, that is the knowledge of truth, knowledge of Atman, one without the second. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman only, because the Brahma cannot be other than you. Like Ramakrishna Paramhansa gives example, wonderful example, all-time evergreen example. A salt doll started searching, wanted to know what is the nature of salt. Somebody said, what is the source of salt? Ocean. What is the nature of salt? We don't know. This salt doll walked into the ocean to know, and he doesn't exist. He becomes the salt. He went to know the salt, and salt merged, and he became salt. I want to know Brahman. I disappears. What remains is Brahman. Okay? This is the answer given by Angiras Sarmuni to Shaunakji for this question of Kasmin Bhagavo Vijñāte Sarvamidam Vijñātam Bhavati iti. We must know that. We must at least orient ourselves more intently than yesterday. Am I intensifying my sadhana, my thought than yesterday? Today I must intensify. The intensity what I had yesterday should be at least increased by 1 unit today. And tomorrow, whatever intensity you have demonstrated today in your mind in approaching the truth, it has to be at least slightly increased, more intensified tomorrow. That you do. Thus, when you search and you know the truth, you realize the truth. Yayatad aksharam adhigamyate. And what is the truth? The experience of the truth? We are entering into the last phase of our Upanishad thought. So what is the first one we started with? Upanishad? Qualifications, questions, some think please. Upanishad asking us to think. Ihached avedit ata satyamasti. Otherwise mahati vinashti. Preyascha is there, 2 mantras we saw. Be careful in the mantra. Life is full of prey and shreya. Pleasant and good. Be careful. That is the life. Life presents both. So choose shreya only, not preya. Okay, that was 2 instructions. Was think please. Please think about this life. Then we saw instructions by the Upanishads. Answers to the questions asked by the disciples, and all the 3-4 questions what we analyzed, all the questions we have seen answers, is it not? We are not left, the question is different, answer is different. We see. Now slowly after this sadhana, yayadadaksharam adhigamyate, we reach that state of the supreme Brahman, then we realize. And what is state of realization? In all Upanishads, the state of realization is explained. What would you feel? What is the state of that state of Brahman? Fantastic. What is the state? In Ishavasya Upanishad, it is said, Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhudvijanataha tatra ko moha kashokaha ekatvamanupashyataha yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhudvijanataha tatra ko moha kashokaha ekatvamanupashyataha. This is oft quoted again by Adi Shankaracharya ji. All Mahatmas oft quoted, because This is a realization, state of realization explained. Yasmin, in whom all beings, sarvani bhutani, atma eva abhut. All bhutas become his own self. Now we see in the worldly things, sometimes we feel the two souls, they are one soul in two bodies. We say or not? Extremely attached to each other, extremely sensitive to each other. But here in the realization, what happens what happens is that first of all, there is oneness is to be realized. It means what? All sorts of differences are to be dissolved. There are three kinds of differences. If all the three differences are dissolved, what remains is, suppose, now for example, in this hall is called Satsang Hall. Let us name it as Satsang Hall. Dining room, dining hall, front hall, lobby, kitchen hall, bedroom. All the names are given. Functions are there. Different utilities are used. Suppose all the walls are shut down or brought down. What remains? Then you realize there was nothing like hall space. There was nothing like room space. Even the language, room space merged with bathroom space merged with the kitchen space. This language also is false. Because earlier there was nothing like room space. Room space is a name given to some space conditioned by four walls. The name you have given. And in fact, even though the four walls are constructed in space with the slab over, but space is unconditional. Space says, Bewakoof, you may construct many walls, but I am indivisible. Similarly, all the upadhis, what is that which is limiting me? Like pot space in the pot. Space in the pot, we call pot space as long as the pot is there. Okay. And in the pot, I put gold. Gurudev used to say golden pot, filthy pot. But the pot is destroyed. When the pot space, the space in the pot is destroyed, the space in the pot, we say, for language purpose, we say it is merged in total space. But what is the truth? Space was never divided, even though the pot was existing. But what if pot is space? That space within the pot is identified with the pot and calling himself as pot space, limiting himself from the total space. So whose mistake it is? Not the space fault. It is the conditioned space, imagining himself is to be, that is, it is conditioned by the pot. Like for example, this bulb is there. You say bulb is there. Tube light is there, or 40 candle bulb, 60 candle bulb, 90 candle bulb, 100 candle bulb, 200 candle bulb, 1000 watt bulbs are there. Now, there is no division in electricity. What is happening when electricity is touching the filament, tungsten? Immediately that electricity is converting itself into light energy. Similarly, when the pure consciousness reflects in Aham Vritti, And there a parichinna aham is born. Just as at the electricity level, there is no watt and no candle. Current is current, same. But when it started manifesting in 40 candle bulb, at that tungsten level, where that is expressed as a light, and that level somehow a thought born that I am 40 candle. This I am 40 candle cannot be said by the electricity. It is somewhere when Hridaya Granthi jaise knot is there, not Hridaya Granthi, sorry, Chit Granthi, knot is there. What is the knot? Between the electricity and tungsten, when they come together, they express as light. Similarly, the Shuddha Chaitanya, pure Chaitanyam, conscious reflects in the Aham Vritti, their Jiva Bhava is born. Like a light is born. The Jiva Bhava it is. So Jivatvam is unreal. What exactly is there is only current. What is there? Only pure consciousness. What is there? Only pure space. When is happening? When all three kinds of differences are dissolved. What are they? Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata, Bheda, Rahita. Vastu. Three types of differences are there. What is the one difference is there? Vijatiya Bheda. Vijati means jati mein bhed. Kaun sa jati? Like for example, Vruksha jati, Jantu jati, Manushya jati. So trees are different from animals, animals are different from human beings. So Vijatiya Bheda. In Brahman, there is no Vijatiya Bheda because there is no other type of Brahma, other Jati Brahma to say that there is another Brahman with different qualities than me. There are two Brahmans, doesn't exist. Therefore, there is no Vijati. Sajatiya Bheda, same species, differences are there. Like a mango tree different from guava tree different from jasmine plant, etc., etc. So each and every plant is different from other plants. That is called same species, but differences are there. All plant jati only, but differences are there. In Atman, that also difference is not there. There is no similar Brahmans available. Swagata Bheda, within the tree, there is so many branches, not the trunk is not the flower is not the leaf is not the fruit. Think. Within the tree, differences are there. In Brahman, are there any such differences? That also don't exist. So when I know myself, not as the physical body, mind, intellect, all my conditionings are dropped, then what I come to know is that the consciousness in me, when becomes unconditioned, then it becomes one with totality. Like a pot space realizes its oneness with total space. In fact, there was no division at all. At that experience, all beings, yasmin sarvani bhutani atma eva bhut. All the beings become his own self. Therefore, in Puja Gurudev, in all writing letters and all that, he would sign thy own self. You and I have no guts to write that. Thy own self. Can you write? Thy own self. He has realized the truth. Out of experience, he writes thy own self. Therefore, when all beings become myself alone, that is state of realization. Now, how to achieve that? So see every being as extension of your own self, first one. So begin with compassion, begin with Compassion first, daya. Daya is what? Is also other being like me. Empathy, from a distance, compassion. Somebody is suffering, somebody is wanting, give, make them happy. You have it, give it. Compassion. And slowly what will do? That compassion, then you feel that others are not different from me, they are extension of my own self. Second stage. Meaning what? First they are different being like me. So as I am feeling hungry, they would feel hungry. As I feel sorrow, they will also feel sorrow. As I experience bad things in life, they also experience bad things. As I feel bad, they also feel bad. External. Slowly, I realize that they are extension of my own self. Second stage. In that stage, I feel that they are all part of myself only. And third stage is what? Finally, see yourself in others, others in you, as same self alone. I am alone in this body expressing as Chidrupananda. I am alone in another body expressing as XYZ. The consciousness is same. That experience practically happens. There is no thinking there. When it happens, like sugar candy, what is sugar candy? Sugar inside, sugar outside. Full of sugar only. Similarly, everything is Brahmamayam. Everything is your own self. So, Atma eva abhut vijanataha. All beings, when they become his own self, question is, Upanishad is asking, Akshepaha, objection is asking, Tatra ko moha kashokaha. Where is the question of delusion there? Delusion means what? We get deluded in duality. When there is something other than me, I am fond of it, it is other than me, I love it, I want it, I hug it, I enjoy. Therefore, it is a moha, delusion. Ko shokaha, kashokaha, where is sorrow? Sorrow because there is any duality is there, some other thing other than me existing, it is not either giving me joy nor happiness, or troubling me, therefore I am unhappy. There is sorrow because of that vastu, due to that vastu. There is no other vastu. You yourself is there. You yourself is there, all pervading consciousness. Therefore, there is no duality. Hence, there is absence of duality. Means, implies there is no sorrow at all. There is nothing to attain, nothing to be attained, because everything is me. I am full within myself. What is there to achieve? I am already full. Everything is my swarupa only, my extension only. Therefore, there is no sorrow, no sokam also. Tatra ko moha ko shokaha. It is what? Akshepaha. Shokasya mohasya kama karma bija majanatah bhavati. Natu atma ekatvam vishuddham gaganopamamam pashyataha. Like one who sees space like Atman, which is like space all pervading, unconditional, indivisible, all pervading, untainted, pure, resplendent, bright, shining in its own glory, such an Atman, when we realize that is the truth, that is the end of it. I don't lose anybody. I don't lose anyone, I don't gain anyone, I am full. It's all play within my consciousness. Universes are born in me, universes are dissolved in me. And that state of realization, when we get, then there is no moha, no sorrow, no shokaha. Otherwise, not knowing the kama karma bijam ajanatah bhavati shokam. Moha is happening only when I don't know the cause of all this samsara, that is avidya. When I don't know that there is something called avidya, which is because of which there is a desire is born, and because of which it is prompting me to work, I am bound. Without this, if I don't have this knowledge, then I am definitely drowned in shoka and moha, deluded, constantly subjected to delusion and in sorrowful condition. Otherwise, when I realize the truth, there is nothing. Therefore, Upanishad is asking, where is shoka, where is sorrow to a man of realization? There is no moha, there is no shoka. मोह के वजह से शोक होता है. Therefore, there is no moha, no shoka. I am everything, I am that, all consciousness, play of one infinite consciousness alone, indivisible, that is me, full stop. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.